Hey there! I'm Melanie, and I am here too. I'm so excited. We're going to do the third part in the 4-part series on how to make hair for your dolls. So the first part was how to do a very simple hat hair, which is this little girl has hat hair. And the second one was solid hair technique. That was really fast and really cool. And this third one is going to be what I call cap with embellishments. So we're going to make a wig cap and then embellish it. This one's got little braids. This cute little granny has short hair, so she just has a little picot edge around her hair. And I'm going to be making a few different styles today that's going to be really cute. So the first thing I'm going to show you how to do is just how to make the cap. Now this can be made to fit a lot of different dolls. I am specifically doing this on my diversity doll pattern that you can see the link in the description if you need to know how to make diversity dolls. I love making dolls with all different skin tones, but you can change these a lot of different ways. So, if your head is a little bit too big, you can mattress stitch the back up a little to make it a little bit smaller. So that can work. If you're making a really big doll, you probably need to do a flat panel and sew it together to make it the right size, but it's pretty stretchy. So this will work for a lot of different dolls, but specifically this is for my diversity dolls that are made on a 22 needle knitting machine. So here we go. Let's knit the cap first. So the number of rows you do are going to depend a little bit. This is my normal one with no making it smaller, so I would do 15 rows for a cap for normal. This one I took in just a little bit. I mattress stitched it. I should have put that in the back, but anyway, I mattress stitched. I think I took up maybe 4 rows or so. So for her, I'm going to do 13 rows because I'm not going to need it to come down as far. So I'm going to do her cap now. Don't know how to do casting on and knitting and casting off, check out my detailed how-to videos. Link in the description. All right, simple cast on. You can do simple cast off or waste yarn cast off. Really, it doesn't matter that much. I just decided to do a waste yarn cast off on this one. Don't know how to do cast off again, check out the link in the description. And now I'm going to just close this end. Because that will be the top of her head. If you don't know the details on how to close tubes, check out my simple basics. I'm going to go close this off and be right back. Okay, now I'm going to crochet off this edge. You usually just do a simple cast off, but I decided to try this time and see if it might make a little bit nicer edge. So I am going to do it on this way because that'll make the right side of the crochet on the right side. So I'm starting where I left off, and we'll see how this works. So that's the end. So I'm going to go to this one first, and I'm just going to single crochet on each one here, but I don't want to make it tight. In fact, you know what? I might just put it on the head while I'm doing it just to make sure I don't get it too tight. Okay. I think I'll just keep checking it every little bit to see and make sure I'm not getting it too tight. I have an F hook and I'm just going kind of loosely into each stitch. You can skip this whole thing if you just do a simple cast off, but then you have the cast off string there. So I thought I'd try it this way and see if it is a nicer finish. Always use nice contrasting yarn for waste yarn cast on or off. Makes it so much easier to see your stitches. Okay, I think I'm back around, so I will just close it with a slip stitch. That through, and I'm going to tie it to this one to finish. Yeah, that one. Actually, I want to tie these two. That one I'm going to pull through. Just pull this through to the back. So this is one little crochet trick too. I always pull it to the front first because that makes the knot go to the back. Then I go to the next stitch and pull it to the back. Okay, let's take off the waste yarn and see how that works on her head. Okay, so when you're sewing on your cap, we don't want it to look like she has a hat on. So we want this to not pooch up here. So you want to make sure that you're going from the top down each time, and you're making sure that you pull it down so it's nice and flat and there's no air in between this and the head, otherwise this is going to pooch up and look like she has a hat on. Okay, so pull it all the way down, and you'll notice it's down farther in the back than in the front, right? You don't want it just on like this, or that would be weird. It's sitting back like her hair would be. And so what you do is you start at the top. You're going to be doing like a back stitch, but you're going to just go through. We're going to do like a mattress stitch, sewing in these bars in between, not on. We're not going to go over. It's hard to see with the black, isn't it? But you see how with each stitch there's a ridge and then there's the valley in between that the bars are. We want to go in the valley so that you don't see these stitches. So I came out of this stitch, so I'm going to go down in the one before it and not cross over any ridges. I'm going to go the same line, and then you don't have to do every stitch. You can go 2 stitches if you want, but right now I'm going to do the next stitch because I want to make sure this little part that was sticking up is down. Pull it down, and you go back into the back stitch and forward. Make sure you get the head too, not just the cap. Stay in the same line so that you don't cross over any ridges. See how the stitch just disappears when you do it that way? Keep pulling the cap down so that you're not, so that it's flat, so we don't end up with a hat. Look. And you're just going to keep going down that same line so that it gets hidden in between the stitches, in the valley between the stitches. And you won't even see it, but that's going to make this cap sit down really flat so that it looks like her scalp instead of, I'm going to hang my needle on it, get untwisted, so that it looks like her scalp and not like she has a hat on her head. I want this all nice and really flat. So I do it, I'm not doing every row, obviously I'm just doing it where it's sticking up. So it's probably every 3rd row or so, but just wherever you see it, it's sticking up, that's where you're going to do it, about every 2 or 3 rows all around. And you always go down the line, and when you get to the end, you're going to come up and you're going to go down and up, back up to the top again, because in the next little pooch you're going to go through that same line. Because the reason why we always want to start at the top and go down is that is going to keep the cap on without catching any air up here. We always start at the top and go down, and that's going to make it really flat. You can see I did this side already. Very flat, very smooth, and that's going to make it look like her hair rather than like she has a hat on her head. So go all the way around, starting at the top, going down, top down. Make sure all these little high bumps are flat, and then tie it off. One of the things I like to do on this channel is I do things like 14 times till it looks really great, and then you can just have the fun of doing it right the first time. So with this cap, see, it's all sewn down now. The first time I did it, I just sewed around here and it was pooching up like a hat. So now that we did it this way, where you start here and go down, here and go down, and you makes you go down all the high spots, now we got a nice smooth cap. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is add the cute little parts. I'm going to do 4 parts across it. So what you want to do is start in the back, and we're going to, I always like to put all my knots down here because it's going to be totally hidden when we put it together. I got my nails too long this time. They are a little bit in my way. Okay, so, and then I'm going to go through here and up right in the middle of the back. And I'm going to start 1 stitch down because we're going to do a duplicate stitch to make this look like it's a continuation of this. And that's what's going to make it look like the part of her scalp and not like just another piece of the head. So this is good that I did this so you can see not to do that. You see how the stitches go this way and then these go this way? We want to go on a row that has them this way, and you'll see why. So I need to go over 1 little bit. Okay. It's still in the back, right? Yes. Okay. Because we're going to do a duplicate stitch now, which means we're going to duplicate this knit stitch. So we're going to make a loop. But first we're going to go down in the stitch we just came out of and up in the next one, and we're going to make a little loop just like the knit stitch. So we're going to go around the needle, see, and that's going to make a little loop just like the knit stitch. And then it's also called a daisy chain stitch if you know embroidery. And we're just, don't do it too tight, just so that it mimics the exact stitch, okay? Now you're going to do it again. So you're going to go down in the stitch where you just were and up where you want the next one to start. Wrap it and pull it through. And not too tight, just so it's the right size, okay? And now, you could keep doing that all the way across, but I tried that for you guys too and found it took too long and it wasn't even as straight and nice as if we did crochet. So now what we're going to do is just chain this around to here, and then we're going to duplicate stitch it down to here. I've got to get my crochet hook. And we're going to make this loop in here. This last one we did, we're going to make it a loop. Come here and, oh, I do it the wrong way. Gotta pull the end through there so we have a loop instead of just an end coming out. There. Now get that the right size. Okay, and here we go. Now we're going to start just chain stitching like always till we get to the front. By the way, this is an F hook, but I'm not really doing it I'm doing it kind of loose. I'm just kind of copying the size of the knit stitch. So I'm using an F, but I'm doing it pretty loosely. I'm just going to chain until it reaches here. Quite. There we go. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing and do a duplicate stitch right here so that it'll connect to this seamlessly. So I'm going to put it there. Going to go back to where it was here. I'm going to pull this guy out. Try not to tighten this chain. We don't really want to tighten that. We just want to pull the end out. And now we're going to do a duplicate stitch on the other side. So I'm going to thread my needle. We're going to do the same thing we did before. So we're going to right, this one is the middle one. This is the middle stitch. So we're going to go through these. And through back where we came out. Okay. You can go down in. Might be good to go down in and come up. Maybe not. Let me try it this way first. Now that's just good. So this one's coming over that stitch. So we pull it like that. Make sure we didn't twist. And we go into the next one. We're going to keep doing duplicate stitch like that till we get just a couple stitches. Probably this might even be enough here. Just enough to where you have an invisible join. Otherwise, when I did it before and I didn't do duplicate stitch, it just, you could tell because it stopped right here and it didn't look like her scalp. See, this way, it's a seamless connection with this Therefore, it looks like her scalp. So now I'm going to do that again from side to side, and I'll meet you back. She's looking so cute. Look at that. I love it. So if you haven't seen my episode on how I make diversity dolls and why I make diversity dolls, you might wonder why I think it's so important to make our children have dolls of all different races, colors, ethnicities, religions, everything. And that is because I think prejudice and, prejudice happens when people are only around their own kind of people that look the same as them, talk the same as them, same religion, same everything. And, when you hear gross generalizations like, white people are X or Mexican people are X or whatever, it's harder to believe that lie if you have friends that are all different colors, all different religions. It's not true. It's a bunch of bull. But if you're only raised around people who look like you, with dolls that look like you, everything, the same, you think it's that tribalism that it's like them against us, right? I hope to perpetuate the tribe of Earth, humanity. Let's just all be one tribe together. Let's not pit any group against another. So that's why I think it's so important for kids to play with dolls that look different than them. Play with friends, definitely play with friends that look different than them. Maybe go to a different kind of church, whatever. But I think that's important for the peace of humanity. So there's my little reason why I do this. But back to the dolls. I love this hairstyle. It's super, super cute. Okay, you have lots of choices here. I did a little Senegalese twist, and I'll show you how to do that. It's so hard to see with the black yarn, isn't it? Can you see? There we go. You can see it better. It's so cute. So you can do the twist. You can do braids. You can make them longer, shorter, fatter by just using more. Totally up to you. The only thing you need to think about is that if you're going to do a twist, you need to get a number of pieces of yarn that are divisible by 2. And if you're going to do braids, they need to be divisible by 3. So this is an 8-strand twist. So I got 4 pieces of yarn. These are about, 12, 14 inches long. We're going to double it over. So that gives me my 8. And, like I said, you can make them as many as you want, as thick as you want, as thick as thin as you want. Just make sure it's double, and then you want to have extra because the twist is going to take up length, braid's going to take up length, and then you're going to want to have room to cut some off at the end. So now all we're going to do, I like to take 2 at a time. It's a little bit easier. And I'm just going to thread my needle with it. This is my trick for threading, by the way. Bend it over. Don't try to thread the ends because they always want to split. But if you bend it over and just push it onto the needle, it's so easy. So that's my threading trick. Now you're going to go right in the middle of this section, and you're going to try to go in the head as well as the hair cap. Let's see, did I get that in the middle? And I'm just going to go over a little bit. I don't need to go over a whole stitch. Let's see, did I get that good? Centered. I think so. Okay. And we're just going to pull it through, and then we're going to get the ends even. That. And I'm going to do another one. Let's see, no, I did it. Okay, now one more. This one I'm going to do, instead of doing it this way, I'm going to do it this way, just to make it come out like a chunk of hair rather than 2 separate pieces. And if you're braiding, you don't have to worry about keeping it in 3s yet. You can always redivide it after you do this part. Okay. Make them even. Okay, now I'm going to tie this around. This is going to be her little hair tie, so you can do it any color you want. You could just do it hair color if you want. Just gonna tie it around here at the base a few times. She's rolling all over the place. But I like to do this before it's attached to the body because you can hide all your knots down here and they won't show. Okay, I'm gonna wrap that around one more time just because I think it looks cute. And last time, tie it underneath so you can hide that knot. Come here, you. I'd be doing this on my lap if I wasn't filming, and it would be a lot easier. She wouldn't be sliding all over the place on the table. Okay, cute. Now I'm just going to take these ends, thread them in the needle, and I'm going to actually put it down through here and then just come out down there to hide the ends. Okay, I'll come right back. All right, for the Senegalese twist, I wonder if I put it on here, she'd stop sliding around. Let's try that. Okay. So obviously if you were going to braid it, you just do it in 3 and braid it. But for a Senegalese twist, in case you don't know how to do that, I'm going to get my 4 and my 4. Can't see it as well, you need the white. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to twist them both clockwise. Nice and well twisted. Clockwise. Nice and tight, and then so each one is twisted clockwise, but I'm going to twist them together counterclockwise. Okay, so we're going to keep twisting them, each one clockwise, while you twist them together counterclockwise, and that's what gives you this cute twist. See, I just keep twisting clockwise, but then they go around each other counterclockwise. See that? So I'm going to finish that all the way down. I need octopus hands for this. Wow. You know what? Look what I did. This one was half as many strands. I gotta go back and fix that. Okay, there she is. Is she not just so adorable? I love her. I think she might be my favorite doll I have made so far. Now I'm really excited about making her a cute little outfit. So that was it. Just did the 4 twists. Put little bows on the bottom. I think it would be so cute if I could find some little tiny butterfly barrettes. Oh my gosh, that'd be adorable. But I didn't have any, so I put bows. And there she is. I think she came out so cute. And you can make all kinds of variations. Longer, shorter, fatter, thinner, more parts, less parts. I could also see like just doing it in half and then putting 2 pom-poms on so they could look like little puffball hair. That is so cute. So anyway, there's that hairstyle. I got another couple coming. Okay, so for this little girl, I did the same thing with the cap, and then I just added the same way I attached the hair, just attached it all the way around, and then I pulled it together and braided it. And on the front, I just twisted it back a little bit before I pulled it together and braided it. You could also just put the braids, braid it all along and make it like a French braid. You could do that. So that's how you can do braids. This one, all I did was the cap for my little granny doll, and I did a little picot edge around it, which all that is you take the cap and you do one, and you do it this way, upside down, so that the right side will be on the right side. If you do it, you know, this way, then it'll be wrong side up. So you turn it upside down and you just go double crochet, 1 stitch, slip stitch in the same stitch, double crochet, slip stitch, double crochet, slip stitch, and you just go all the way around like that. So that is how you make this cute little picot. That is that. Okay, here's another thing you can do is make the curls like I showed in the first video, link in the description if you don't know how to make curls. This was a cap, and then I'm not sure I love this. What do you guys think? I was trying to do a little bit of a hairline, but I don't know. I'm not sure if I like it. But anyway, all it was slip stitch, single, and then half double. And then I went back down to slip stitch on here just to make a little bit of a peak here. Slip stitch, single, half double, doubles. So anyway, I don't know if you like that or not, but this I love. So you can just attach 3 little curls and have little curly pigtails. I think that would be adorable and super easy and quick. So that's another thing you can do with just cap and embellishments. The other thing is just curls all around the edge like I did on my mermaid doll. So if you want to know how to put curls all around the edge, check out number 2 in the series of hairstyles showing how to do that. And she had curls all around. So that's another thing you can do is just a cap with curls all around. Okay, so I think you can see that with these techniques, you can make just an endless amount of hairstyles. So now I want to just show you some hairstyles that I just found on Pinterest. I'm including the websites of these people's products or patterns because they're so cute. I hope you buy their stuff. But I just wanted to show you that you can do so many different things. So like here is a darling set of ballerinas. So you could totally do that with the cap hair method. Just do the cap and then you crochet little strands for the bangs. Same thing we did for the bun attaching wise, and then you just twist it all up. And then this one is super cute. It's a cap with a braid sewn around the front and then some hair strands sewn on top and then down to the cap. Now in my next video, number 4, which is a full wig video, I am going to be showing how to make these hair strands, but it's really easy. I mean, you can either just chain stitch or you can do chain stitch and then single or slip stitch down. It works really well. So anyway, but I'll show you more details on how to do that in my 4th video, but this is just also showing you how you can combine all different kinds of things with the cap and make just an endless amount of cute hairstyles. Here's one that is kind of like the one I showed you with the little hairline and the curly curls. Super cute. And then here's one with ponytails. This one, the hair was crocheted into the head, but you could just totally put a cap on like we did, and then the little ponytails on the side, and she put cute little parts on there by just stitching some on top. So that's another one. Here's another one that is just adorable. So this is the crochet cap with braids, and then they also showed you how to do cute little wavy hairline. So if you want to learn how to do that, definitely check out Heidi Duncan and buy her pattern because these are adorable. Here is one where it's like the one I showed you, but then they also stitched on some bangs just with a single threads of either number 2 or 3 yarn, or that might be embroidery floss. So that's just another way you can do the cap and make it a little bit fancier. This one is just our cap with ponies like we did, but they used boucle yarn. So the boucle yarn really makes the cap look just like curly hair. So that's another way you could do it. And you could even just, for a little boy, it'd be super cute to just use the boucle and just put the cap on. It would be a cute little boy's curly hair. Yeah, so you can see there's almost endless ways that you could make different hairstyles from these 4 methods that I'm showing you in these 4 videos. Okay, that was the third part in my 4-part series on how to make hair for your dolls. If you haven't seen my first 2, definitely click on the link in the description, because the first one was super easy. Second one, they're all pretty easy, but they kind of went from the most simple and quick to a little bit more time consuming. All of these are easy because that's what my whole channel is about, is how to make stuff really easy and fun. So that was the third part, which was hair cap with embellishments. My next one is going to be full wig. How to make a full wig for your doll. Obviously this is going to take a little more crocheting, a little more time, but it's worth it if you want to make that really special doll. So here's some pictures of some of the styles we can make with that 4th type of hair technique, so don't miss that one. So please like and subscribe if you like these videos. They're fun for me to make, and I hope you're getting a lot of value out of them. So much love always.